Hey everyone, welcome to OMG Bass, and I'm really excited about today. I'm about to head into Vexus and check out the plant. I'm gonna take you guys with me, come on. Got him.
Walk through here, you'll see a very clean facility. You see a lot of these guys working. We work 5/10s essentially, so we've got a team that's trying to produce stuff. Being as small as we are, we can be really nimble to adjust our production on what we have and don't have, and just try to make it to where we can get you guys product. This facility is 115,000 square feet. 105 of that is dedicated to manufacturing. This 10,000 on this side of the wall is all offices, conference room, and a fitness center. And so one thing it's kind of weird, but our part of the world, if you kind of draw a 250-mile circle down where we are right now, that's kind of where fiberglass boat building originated. There's some of it in the Carolinas with offshore stuff. There's some of it in Tennessee over there. But right here is kind of where there's just been a lot of third-generation craftsmen that are working in this plant. So we've got a great team. They were all hand-picked. We've got a great culture in here. You'll notice as we walk through this facility, you'll see people communicating and talking. Before we had such a large facility, there were different silos. So like the painters only hung out with the painters, and the gel coaters only hung out with the gel coaters. And so, even our break room, we have one break room, and so at lunch, there's a lot of times I can talk to the gel coat guy and the guy that's putting the seats in, all in about 3 tables, and you can learn and communicate so much more. So that's something that we're trying to be small and nimble and have a great product. You guys will come with me, and I'm going to show you our aluminum process. There's been a lot that's been happening on that side as far as expansion with this new property that we've purchased across town. You can see some of the drawings there behind you. When we get done up on the water, we'll probably go by there and I'll show you some of that stuff that'll make sense. But please ask questions as we go through here. Take as many pictures as you want. Feel free to ask questions. We'll kind of go from there, all right? 2 lines dedicated to poly boats. So both the center consoles and the 80X190 are going to get poly interiors. And so our idea right now, you can see, we've essentially got to put these, we run these down this line, they go on a dolly, and then they've got to go through foam, right? With our new trailer expansion, this far line over here with the shop blaster and everything is going to be taken out of our facility. So line 2 will move over essentially to the far side of the wall, and there'll be a track system that will run those boats straight into the poly booth. The way we're operating right now, second shift has to poly all of the interiors because we run trailer production down the poly booth all day in the time. And it also gives us what I consider a more traditional bass boat look. You get a lot of people that walk up to our boats and kind of go like this, like it's aluminum, it's fiberglass, so on and so forth. So that's something that we're doing right here. All the while throughout this process, this is something that oftentimes goes overlooked, but every place this boat gets welded, there's a jig underneath it. Before, we had dollies that we were welding in. You got a lot of that waviness, and what that does is that makes the boat stick to the water, it doesn't lift, and obviously doesn't perform. So with a pad hull, it's very, very important throughout this manufacturing process that we have a true bottom on the bottom of it, okay? All the while this boat is going down the line, we're going to build small parts alongside it. So you can see right here, whether it's front back deck, whether it's the housing for the rod boxes, whether it's the cup holder, so on and so forth. We're building that all alongside these boats as they're going down the line. So as we continue to go down here, you're just going to see those components start being added and added and added to it. So this boat is going to be a 1980 midnight oil. Every morning when we start, there's a blue kit sitting in front of one of these boats. Whether it's the fasteners, whether it's the plumbing, whether it's anything that we're going to need is sitting here in the morning when we get started.
This is so cool.
What's sold in the marketplace now? There's always a big 5-inch decal that goes down the whole side of these boats. Right here's a great illustration of how we put our decks in these boats. We essentially weld a shelf to this extrusion right here, and then we'll weld the deck onto the shelf, okay? And what that does is it allows us to have a what I consider a sleek finish on the outside of our boat. So you'll notice our trade dress is the pinstripe, 3/4 of the boat. We've got a little mauve maybe there at midship, but it really gives that kind of fiberglass feel to this boat. And then you'll notice right here, we're installing the ribs to go along with these stringers. We've spent a lot of time beefing up the front third of our boat to be able to handle that impact. And when you're in big stuff, trimming it down, it's constantly taking that abuse. We've had these from about here forward. You'll notice we're going to add a couple more things right here as it goes farther forward, but we've beefed up the front third of the boat. Something new for 2022 that I'm pretty dang excited about are these raised lips around the rod boxes. You know, it's something we constantly fight in aluminum boats, is whether it's condensation or whether it's rain. And I'm not going to say that these are now waterproof boxes, but they're a whole lot more waterproof than they were before. So we're continuing to put that housing around the inside of this right here, but it's got a raised lip that's going to obviously keep moisture out of there. So we're pretty excited about that. In addition to that right here, we've now got lockable storage there on the step, and it's got a raised lip around it as well. That was a pretty wet box before, and so now we've dried that up considerably. So that's it. It made us need a box. It made us need to do a fiberglass part to screws together on the side right there. Yeah. Have a bottom and a top to carry up. It's something, yeah. There's a box on the front of this. Well, we'll come over there.
So that's before all the foam inside of the boat.
Now something that we're going to do right here, you'll notice we've got drop-in fiberglass storage boxes. Okay, that's something that we kind of incorporated from the fiberglass side. The fiberglass storage on each side, fiberglass live well on the splash ring, and where you're seeing all these holes here, he's going to put that actuator right here in a second. He's going to count in every single station that he's going to use to be able to shoot foam into this and get everything nice, solid, and secure. It's going to do really three things. Number one, it's going to make it quieter. Number two, it's going to make it ride better. And number three, it's going to make it more stable. So those are the things that we're trying to accomplish here with foaming up these boats. Something that I sell off the trailer more today than we probably ever have because nobody else builds their own trailers anymore. So that's something that I always stress to the customer. So being able to have that stuff all in-house is very important to us. You know, a lot of our aluminum boats get 4-inch cantle frame trailers. We have the ability to both have an aluminum trailer and a steel trailer that we're going to pummel. So a considerable difference right there. So everything underneath the floor of this boat and around the boxes is all foam filled.
Got him.